talk about some major college football news that is taking place right now. Just kind of reported this morning by Texags.com, which does an amazing job. Jimbo Fisher reportedly to be let go. It said it could happen as early as today. I know they had the big victory, but when you look to everything that has gone on with Jimbo Fisher, he has this huge contract. I think they owe him around $70 million. What's kind of your initial takeaway with Jimbo, him going to Texas A&M? Honestly, his numbers were, even with Kevin Sumlin, who was out there, they're almost the same amount of wins and losses. What's your kind of early take on that? In fact, I just told you pre-show, you've been doing stuff. This is major news that came out.
Exactly. I had no clue about this. This was amazing that they have this already. The fact that this guy's record, when you really look back at Kevin Sumlin's record, it mirrors Kevin Sumlin. Yeah. I'm surprised it took him this long. But the fact that this guy has a 70+ million buyout, man, I don't care how much you love football. I love this game. You can't care that much when you're getting 70 million to walk out the dadgum door. Right? I think it was Coach Ogeron I heard when I think they gave him 40. And I remember he was like, show me the door. You know what I'm saying? So $70 million, man. How it doesn't shock me that they let the guy go because his record really hadn't been any better than Kevin Sumlin's. Mm-hmm. But the fact that his buyout was that much, man. Good night, brother. How much can he care? 70 mil to leave? Shh.
And I start to when you look at kind of the things that have transpired at Texas A&M, especially their road losses. They have this incredible streak of losing on the road. I think it's like one of the longest in college football right now. You clearly start to think about the next coach in line, and I think I like to hear from you guys inside the comment box. Let me ask you guys, coaching candidates, whether it's realistic or not, at Texas A&M, and it's an interesting and amazing coaching opportunity because there's two programs in college football that I think can do whatever they want to do. Yeah. One is Texas. Texas has so much money, and I get it. Alabama has money, their USC has money, but there's a different type of money in Texas. You can't compete with that. That's why kind of this name, image, and likeness and the transfer portal, that's why it makes coaches nervous, even Coach Saban, because it's going to be hard to compete with these schools in the state of Texas, right? So the Texas Longhorns already have their coach, Steve Sarkisian, and right now they should be able to pay him whatever he wants because he is their coach. He's young. They're doing good things at Texas. You see where they are in their rankings. You saw they were able to beat Alabama this year. They're coming into the SEC. There's going to be so much to gravitate towards around Texas. The other program is Texas A&M. So they can do whatever they want. If they can buy out somebody for 70 million or whatever it is, and that tells you just how much money that they have behind them because not only can they take him out, they're going to bring somebody in. They're not going to bring in some average Joe. It's going to be this shocker, right? People in the comment box are saying Urban Meyer, there's, Lane Kiffin, Coach Prime, whoever it is going to be able to come in. Remember, and I was thinking about this. Remember when Utah bought the football program, literally bought every single player on their team this past year, a $1,500 Dodge Ram, okay? Texas A&M could go in there and buy everybody a Ferrari. It's crazy what could happen if you get the next coach in there. That's how bad they want to win. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What do you think, Coach? When you think to coaching candidates, just off the top of your head, Dan Lanning, that's a hell of a ad right there. I appreciate it, Tony. Thanks for joining us this morning. Urban Meyer, I've seen that kicked a lot. What about you, Coach? What are you thinking just off the top of your head?
For me, they may entertain Dan, but Oregon can match. I don't think he'll leave, Oregon to go to Texas A&M. For me, if they're being serious, they would entertain Kyle Whittingham at Utah. Mm-hmm. Guy's an awesome coach, man. Mm-hmm. They would entertain. I've even heard beforehand that if this was weeks ago, that they would entertain hiring Josh Heupel. They like Heupel's offense. They like how he runs his program. He's sort of fighting from uphill at Tennessee. He go to Texas A&M, he'll have the money in his lap right then and there, the Ferrari to do what he want to do. I think the young man who coaches Duke, I don't know his name, very successful guy to turn Duke around and make Duke that type of program competitive. There's several coaches out there. I'm not sure if Lane, they may entertain Lane. It all depends on how serious they are. But I think Kyle Whittingham, Dan Lanning, the young man who coaches at Duke, the Kansas State coach, they're very high on him. These guys that have taken these quote unquote lesser programs and absolutely made those guys competitive in every facet. If they're serious, I really think they'd entertain those guys. I wouldn't be shocked with the success of Texas if they wouldn't even entertain hiring Coach Prime to
Mhm.
bring that attention back to Texas A&M.
Well,
Um,
that's what I
yeah,
was just going to say is Coach Prime, and there's a lot of people out there that are going to say that doesn't make sense, and Colorado was all hype. 100%, we all knew that they were going to be hyped. But what was amazing about Coach Prime was how he was able to get the players there. Now
yeah,
everything else kind of has to mesh, and look, their schedule was going to be difficult. They
facts.
they played Arizona tough last night, and I think that shows kind of the signs. But players, whether you like it or not, players want to play for Coach Prime
It's a
right now.
whole fact. I know this
100%.
person. Yeah,
100%. So
yeah,
if he goes there, and I just don't know if like the culture of A&M and Prime would match up really well.
yeah, yeah.
That
I
would be
mean,
kind of one of those things. I mean, if it was
yeah,
Texas, oh my god, if they didn't have if this was reversed and Texas was looking for a coach, oh my goodness, can you imagine Coach
yeah.
Prime at Texas, right?
I
Um,
mean, you have to realize, and you got to be honest with yourself. And maybe if you don't know, Coach Prime is huge in our community. I mean, the kids that grow up now, the African American kids that grow up
mhm,
now, it's an older guy in our neighborhoods that look like Coach Prime all the time.
mhm,
So when you see Coach Prime out here with the jury on and the talking how he talk, that's normal for us.
mhm,
So that's normal for the parents. If you go to these camps, you will hear what the kids are saying. I'm at the camp, so I know they
mhm,
love Coach Prime.
mhm,
The only thing that a lot of them have reservations about is just playing way out in Colorado. A lot of these kids from the South don't want to play in Boulder. Boulder's a beautiful, beautiful place, right? But a lot of these Southern kids don't want to play in 30-degree weather. They don't want to play way out there. You can convince some of them to go out there, but you give Coach Prime Texas A&M backing money. I don't know if he meshes with the old heads of Texas A&M and M and the filter of what that program is built on. They're not really a modern hip hop type up to date program, but
mhm.
it's a lot of kids. I'm telling you, you can believe me or not, it's several children that are going to go where he goes. Believe it or not. But I don't know, man. Texas A&M sort of comes across to me as not very smart when it comes to their hires, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it seems like they hire for the wrong reasons. I don't really know what their backbone is. I know Jimbo's, if he's out of there, it's several selections they can have, and they have enough money to kind of go fishing for whoever they want.
Yeah, and I think along with Coach Prime, and that's why I was saying I don't think like culture wise he fit at Texas A&M. I don't even know if it's like a black white thing because I don't think Lane Kiffin would even fit in there. I think he's like too
Yeah,
hip. He's too modern for
he's too
Texas.
modern.
He's
Yeah,
too modern,
exactly.
right? He's on Twitter. He's not afraid to say what he wants. I think that it just wouldn't be like a good blend there. Now, if they wanted to really transform their identity, which I think if you're Texas A&M, you're 1,000,000% need to do. All the
Hmm.
stuff floating around with the male cheerleaders doing their thing, and they're
Yeah,
like a laughing stock right now. So you need somebody to go in there and completely change the PR of that program 100% and get people thinking Texas A&M is the place to go again. And that's why Coach Prime, with what he was able to do, because Colorado, despite their lack of success on the field, they have done a good job, like PR wise. They have
of course.
15 different type of jerseys. They're modern. They got the smoke. And I used to cover Colorado, so I know this. But the problem
Hmm.
is like in Boulder. Besides this, like it's so beautiful out there. Like,
It's a
why watch
fact.
a mediocre football team when you can go to the Flatirons? When you
That's
can
right.
go into Denver and watch the Broncos? When you can go watch the Nuggets? When you can go Denver has all those sports teams. So Colorado football has always been a second fiddle up until
Hmm.
now, right? So you can go into College Station and do that. Plus, Prime already has a presence in Texas and the recruiting around Tech. Can you imagine prospects from the Houston area
A fact.
into Louisiana
Yes.
coming to meeting with Coach Prime? That would be scary for college football. I'm
Um,
serious. And I've been talking to us a
fact.
long time, and sometimes I speak things that come into fruition for whatever reason. I'm just
Hmm.
kind of putting things together. If you're Texas A&M, let me ask you this. If it happens or not, in Texas A&M, their board right now are putting on a hot list board. They're like, okay, emergency meeting. We need the coaching candidates. 10 on the board right now. There's a let's just say we're making this up. There's 10 people in this board, right? And they have a huge whiteboard. I'm obsessed with whiteboards. I have 3 of them in my office.
Hmm.
Goals, affirmations, business plans. Who are the 10 candidates on this? You don't think Coach Prime is on there?
I definitely do. And
100%.
I'm gonna tell you the main reason why. The fact that Texas and Texas A&M have a different type of rivalry. It's different than Alabama and Auburn. It's different than Florida and Florida State. Texas and Texas A&M has a I can't say on air who's the biggest syndrome going on. Right? We got more money than you. No, we got more money than you. That type of thing. The fact that Texas is doing well right now. That is going to that's a major reason why this move was brought into fact. If you don't think Coach Prime will be on their list, you're crazy because he's gonna put the spotlight squarely back on Texas A&M in every facet imaginable. The guy can coach, man. I mean, you can say what you want to say and fool yourself and talk to yourself. Colorado's an awful team, brother. They're awful. They're not even bad. They're awful. The fact that he was competitive in as many games as he was with a whole new team that he just brought in there. The guy, if you know, the guy can coach, and kids will follow him. If you don't think Texas A&M, the people, the ADs and the chancellors and the presidents are he would be on that list, you're kidding yourself. Because a lot of modern college football today is Twitter. It is social media. It is likes and views and NIL, and that's just the world we live in today. And Coach Prime fits squarely right into the middle of that.
All right, I gotta give a shout out to Kimberly. She wants some love inside the comment box. Hype up on Sunday. Hey Kyle, what's up? You never read my text and my